Thank you very much, Madam President. I congratulate you and the US delegation on your successful presidency of the Council this month. We take note of the Secretary General's latest report on the situation in Afghanistan and the briefing provided by the Special Representative of the Secretary General and the head of UNAMA, Ms. Rosa Otunbayeva. Thank you, ma'am. We commend her leadership and efforts to promote normalization in Afghanistan under very challenging circumstances. We also thank the briefers for their very useful insights. Let me begin by expressing Pakistan's strong condemnation of the cowardly terrorist attack in Kabul yesterday that resulted in the death of Acting Minister for Refugees in the Afghan interim government, Mr. Khalilur Rahman Haqqani, and several others. We offer our heartfelt condolences to the families of the victims, the AIG, and the people of Afghanistan. Madam President, the situation in Afghanistan remains dire and deeply worrying. 23.7 million Afghans are in need of urgent humanitarian assistance. While we are encouraged to see improvements in funding for the Afghanistan Humanitarian Needs and Response Plan, it remains severely underfunded at 37.5% of the required $3.06 billion. This plan must be fully funded without preconditions for the welfare and well-being of the vulnerable Afghan people. Pakistan supports efforts for revival of the Afghan economy and its banking system, addressing liquidity challenges and exploring pathways for unfreezing Afghanistan's national reserves. We are committed to expanding trade relations and commercial linkages with Afghanistan, including through implementation of planned infrastructure and regional connectivity projects such as TAPI, CASA 1000, and Uzbekistan-Afghanistan-Pakistan railway projects. Madam President, Pakistan was the first to advocate sustained engagement with the AIG, and we welcome all such initiatives, including through the ongoing rounds of the Doha process, to help address Afghanistan's problems. However, the effort being undertaken in the framework of the Doha process must go beyond counter-narcotics and the private sector. It must encompass the fundamental issues that have been identified by the international community, especially in the independent assessment submitted by the UN Special Coordinator, Ambassador Feridun Sinirlioglu. Madam President, as noted in the Secretary General's report, Afghanistan continues to face multiple challenges, including terrorism, human rights, political inclusivity, fragile economy, and widespread poverty. These problems are also affecting the region, particularly neighboring countries like Pakistan, that have sustained millions of Afghan refugees for decades and borne the brunt of more recent population flows from Afghanistan. Terrorism within and from Afghanistan poses the single most serious threat to the country, to the region, and to the world. While the AIG is fighting ISIL-K or Daesh, the threat from various other terrorist groups such as Al-Qaeda, the TTP, and others has yet to be addressed. The TTP, with 6,000 fighters, is the largest listed terrorist organization operating in Afghanistan. With safe havens close to our border, it poses a direct and daily threat to Pakistan's security. The TTP is responsible for a number of terrorist attacks in Pakistan, causing the loss of lives of hundreds of innocent Pakistani civilians and law enforcement officials. In countering the TTP's cross-border operations, our security and border officials have confiscated some of the modern weapons acquired by the AIG from stocks left behind by foreign forces. The TTP also receives external support and financing from our adversary. The TTP is fast emerging as an umbrella organization for other terrorist groups in the area, with clear objectives of destabilizing Afghanistan's neighbors. We have evidence of its collaboration with other terrorist groups like the Majid Brigade that is utilizing terrorism to disrupt Pakistan's economic cooperation with China, especially CPEC. Given its long association with Al-Qaeda, the TTP could emerge as Al-Qaeda's arm with a regional and global terrorist agenda. Pakistan will take all necessary national measures to eliminate these threats. We will continue to cooperate with regional and international efforts to effectively root out the menace of terrorism. Madam President, the international community also expects the AIG to fulfill its declared commitments on human rights and political inclusion. Instead of easing earlier restrictions, the AIG has intensified the restrictions on women and girls. These restrictions are contrary to Islamic precepts, jurisprudence, and the Sharia. Madam President, Pakistan shares the desire of most of our neighbors and the international community to enhance the prospects of stability and normalization in Afghanistan and to engage constructively with the AIG. Yet, engagement does not imply international acceptance of policies that contravene international law and Afghanistan's legal and political obligations. And engagement must have clear objectives and purpose. We need a roadmap of the specific and reciprocal actions to be taken by the AIG and the international community to achieve the goal of normalization in Afghanistan. The AIG spokesperson has himself asked for implementation of the Special Coordinator's plan. This is the only viable recipe for economic revival, long-term development, and sustainable peace, security, and development in Afghanistan. The destinies of Pakistan and Afghanistan are intertwined, underpinned by bonds of history, geography, ethnicity, language, faith, and culture. The suffering of our Afghan brothers and sisters affects the Pakistani people deeply. There is no country that is more eager than Pakistan to see Afghanistan return to the international community's fold. Pakistan will continue to play a proactive role to achieve the much-needed and long-awaited peace, stability, and development that the people of Afghanistan rightfully deserve after more than 4 decades of conflict. And we will continue to engage at the bilateral, regional, and international level to realize these aims, including as a non-permanent member of the Security Council for the term 2025-2026. I thank you very much.